out the White Sox of Chicago. Last night, 3-0. Get another crack at them tonight. 6:10 is the first pitch. They'll finish the series tomorrow afternoon at 1:10. And then the Guardians will hang around the weekend to play the Cardinals of St. Louis. And then they're off to Baltimore to play the Orioles. They'll go play the Twins. A lot of baseball still to be played. As the summer continues, we're not even near the very end of the baseball season with your Cleveland Guardians. So 6:10 tonight. And about a week and some change remaining for you to use POOF as your promo code at CLE Clothing Company. POOF, P-O-O-F. And you get 20% off whatever you buy. Want to do it online? You can do it. Want to walk right into one of their stores? Are you a more tactile shopper? Well, you can do that too. And we're always dropping new Buzzard merch and the whole bit. One of our Florida bureau chiefs sent me this. If you listen to us from out of state on iHeartRadio, tell me where. A guy who contends that he found a splashing, hissing iguana in his toilet. You ever lived in a place where things came up through the toilet?
No.
Yeah.
It's no fun. If you were constipated beforehand, you weren't shortly after that. But he said he was surprised, a guy named John Riddle. I mean, sure, there's no other way to deal with it than surprise. You don't ever expect to find an iguana hissing at him from inside his toilet.
He was splashing and hissing at me. I was scared. I'm not a reptile fan. That's when it turned around and opened its mouth. And that's all I needed to see to like back off for a minute and figure out what was going on. I was trying to work up the nerve to grab him and throw him out. Before I did that, he crawled out and crawled like behind the toilet. And that's when I grabbed the strainer and shoot him out.
You want to see the picture of this thing? He took a picture of it. Look at this. He goes, it stood there with its mouth open.
Yeah, ready to dine.
That is one kinky lizard, boy. Mm-hmm. He's in the toilet with his mouth wide open. It's like, yeah, give me whatever you got.
Them German lizards.
Play.
Number 1, number 2. I don't care. I can't count. I'm a lizard.
Du hast.
Do. 58-year-old John Riddle.
Ew.
Freaked out by
I'm watching
this.
the live stream, so it just came up on the live stream. Dude.
Iguana in the toilet hissing. Now, I thought he was saying that it came up through the pipes. Maybe he still is saying that. I don't know. I think that it ran in. It was a door open or something. But if you've ever lived in a place, I remember towards when I was a young man and just living in terrible, awful apartments. I lived in a place where I was in, because again, my first apartment was just one big room. And so the bathroom was in the corner of the closet. And so I heard a noise, and it was like, the middle of a Saturday or something. I don't know what I was doing. And I heard a noise. I heard like the rattle of the toilet seat. And I thought maybe, again, it was an old, terrible building. And I thought maybe just the pipes were rattling. And I went in there, and there was a sewer rat that had come up through the pipes. And those are not small. And so you flush it, right? You flush it to try to get it down. And I had a plunger, and I'm, with the handle, pushing the sewer rat back down like I'm trying to get a giant poop back down the toilet. And for, the city water department, if you contact them, will say, yeah, sometimes things go the way they're not supposed to go, and they'll come through pipes. And their only recommendation is usually like, I'm sure people over at the Northeast Ohio
Regional Sewer District.
Regional Sewer District, thank you, would tell you the same thing. They're like, well, the main recommendation is if you're using the toilet for a long period of time, just remember to flush repeatedly so it doesn't happen again. So like during prolonged use, and I'm talking to you, Poundcake. This is Mr. Half an hour scrolling on his phone on the toilet. This is Mr. Legs falling asleep over here.
Yeah. Sometimes I
flush to discourage unwanted visitors.
Are they unwanted?
Because you looked,
Cody?
you looked down there to see what's splashing. Yeah, you don't want that. Hey, Randy.
Hey, Alan. Since you just brought up the stuff coming out of the toilet, my dad told me about years ago when he was a kid in Akron. That happened once with a rat. He had to pull it out with pliers and take it out in the driveway and beat it with a baseball bat. He knocked the, I don't know what word I can use or not, but he knocked the pee out of it.
Yeah, sure. He
literally.
knocked everything. I thought you were going to say he like taped it down and then ran it over with his cars. I really get back at it.
Yeah, why are you? But the reason I called in was I came in the middle of the conversation right before the last break. You were talking about divorce. Did someone prominent get divorced? I haven't heard the news today.
No, not that. It was just a hypothetical. Poundcake threw out a hypothetical about whether or not Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would ever find themselves in a situation so foul that they would part company.
Well, and Bill speaks words of truth. It's unfortunate. He said you never know what will happen or what can happen. And to that, I have this joke. I hadn't thought about this in a long time where I heard it first, but there's a joke about this elderly couple goes into the courthouse and said, "We would like a divorce, please." And the courthouse official says, "Excuse me, folks, how old are you?" And the man says, "I'm 97 and my wife is 94. And you want a divorce?" "That's correct." "How long have you been married?" They said, "Over 70 years. So forgive me, but let me get this straight. You've been married over 70 years and you just now want a divorce. Why did you wait till now?" "Well, we wanted to wait for all of our children to die first."
Yep. I mean, I assume that was the punchline.
Pretty dark, huh?
Yeah, pretty dark, but that's okay. Thank you,
good.
Randy. I appreciate
Randy.
It's Randy and Kent. Yeah.
What?
Do you know who Tim Scott is?
Nope.
Okay.
Am I supposed to?
I don't know about that. Tim Scott is a black Republican senator from the great state of Carolina.
Okay.
And
Which Carolina?
South
Oh,
Carolina. Did I just say Carolina?
Yes.
I'm sorry. From the great state of South Carolina is where he's from. And Tim Scott has been hemming and hawing and about, I'm going to run for president on the Republican ticket, blah, blah, blah. Well, he is the first guy, I think, to announce. DeSantis hasn't even announced yet. And so, these guys, they send out their exploratory committees to see, hey, what would the response be if I ran for president? He's a native of Charleston, South Carolina. He's the first black senator from South Carolina ever, and he's only been in there for 10 years. He's the first black senator to be elected from the southern United States since 1881, and he's the first black Republican to serve since 1979. And again, but no, totally, GOP's a big tent. But he's only been in there for 10 years. Now, he is also a 57-year-old bachelor, which isn't a big deal, except he's also one of these guys who was very vocal proponent of abstinence before marriage, which led a reporter to literally ask him if he's a virgin. Because he goes, look, you're not married. You're 57.
Never been married. Yeah.
Are you a virgin? And he had to kind of sheepishly admit that he was, and he took the L on the abstinence thing. But is he? Could this guy be a 57-year-old virgin? No, I don't think that matters. The way politics works now is it just matters if you have an R or a D next to your name.
Oh, he's got an R.
And he is not off to a good start because he had a big campaign rally. And I love these because they have to pack the crowd, right? You're never going to find an arena full of people excited about Tim Scott. So they have to have people clapping and with signs and make it look awesome. But he's not off to a great start because he pulled a Howard Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He gets up on stage and welcomes, he was excited to see the people of his hometown, North Charleston.
Hello, North Charleston!
Oh, God. I've watched it a billion times. I'll show it to you. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it
Oh,
yesterday.
God, it's so good. Oh.
Hello, North on, Charleston!
I mean, he's excited to be there. And then they do this handshake. Like,
Hold on, Charleston!
oh, come on, this
He
guy,
sounds like
Tim
he found
Scott.
something in his toilet.
Yeah, he found a sewer rat down there.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House!
Yeah. That was the scream that effectively ended Howard Dean's campaign for
Which
president.
is crazy.
Isn't it? That
It's
was what.
crazy.
Now, Trump's right, man. These guys could stand in the middle of the street and murder someone, and they're like, I take him literally, not seriously. Yeah, 2004, Howard Dean dropped out because of that scream, murdered his career. Or Dukakis in the dumb tank helmet.
Funny.
It's quaint by today's standards.
Can you imitate that scream? Like, how would you?
I
No.
wouldn't even know how to do it.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. to take back the White House!
But again, these guys, they get in the moment. They get so excited. And, I mean, listen, Tim Scott is going to get stomped. But he thinks he's got something to bring to the table. A proud son of North Charleston.
Hold on, Charleston!
I mean, by the way, Charleston is so thirsty these days. You've been there, right, Cody?
Yes. It's a
And my
beautiful
mother-in-law's been there, and everybody who goes, Charleston is so thirsty. Are you guys getting all the Charleston tourism ads?
town.
They're
No.
all over Hulu and YouTube, and they really, boy, they want you to know. We've got food, we've got drinks, we've got gays, we've got history. You know, they got the whole thing. Rainbow flags and dudes walking arm in arm, and it's like, yeah, it looks like a beautiful city. I've never been.
Can't
but
say we
You
have
have
gays when
Hulu
we
with
have
ads?
One gay
Huh?
club.
You have Hulu with ads?
No, I pay for Hulu with no ads. But guess who still gets ads? Because of the fine print. No ads just means, oh, you don't get ads in some things. That's why Hulu is getting to be a big scam. Pay friggin' $80 a month for Hulu with no ads, and you get ads. They go, well, it means not native ads. You don't get ads in a show, but we'll show them to you in before. What? No wonder these streamers are having people are going to go full. You give it a few years, people are going to start signing up for cable again.
Yeah, dude. We have that.
They're like, I have every streamer and I'm paying $130 Why do I not have cable? They're just going to go back to cable. It's going to come full circle.
I just don't even know where anything is or how to like. I cut the cord so long ago. I haven't had cable in so long. I don't know where to go to watch stuff on cable.
It's so fun going back to my mom's house, like when I visit, because
But these days you don't. Sorry, Cody. These days you don't need to because cable has advanced to the point where it's basically just one big DVR.
Yeah,
So you
alright.
set what you want to watch,
Yeah.
and it shows up. Go ahead.
well, it's just funny because I go back to my mom's house and I visit. I pick up her remote. And she has cable, so I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can just like hit the next button and it goes to the next channel. This is so cool. It's like like I've never done.
Nostalgic.
I haven't done that in so long. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is ABC. I was like, channel 27. I was like, what's a channel 27? It's so funny.
Brian's parents have DirecTV Stream,
Yeah.
which is essentially cable. It's got all your regular cable channels and then some like movies and stuff like that. But when we first signed up for it, I'm like, dude, this is like last night. We just had Antiques Roadshow on in the background for like 2 hours. And like it switched over to some weird music thing on not NPR, but PBS.
Yeah.
I prefer regular TV to just have something on in the background.
I mean, I
you
have
know?
technically what I pay for is Hulu Live with no ads, which means it's kind of like cable. You can click live and it shows you all the channels, and I can click around. Obviously those have ads because you're watching channels, but and I don't mind that. I like kind of clicking around.
I love a TV Guide channel. I was like, oh my gosh, bring back.
TV Guide
I was like,
channel.
bring back the TV Guide channel. That was my thing. Me and my mom used to bond over it for whatever reason because she was like, turn on the scroll, and I was like, oh yeah,
The scroll.
Music choice.
No. It was a scroll. It was a TV Guide channel because they would have actual TV shows and also play at the bottom there was a scroll and it had all the TV channels and what was going to come on for like the next hour and a half. So they had like the guy Justin Guarini, whatever from American Idol. He would like host, and then like whatever she would watch, what was coming on Court TV or on Oxygen, because she would always watch Snap.
Oh yeah, they just host like the little interstitials about what's coming up.
And so I got used to watching that. So for a while, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Let me turn to the scroll, and I'm like, wait a minute, there is no scroll. Like this, you're watching Netflix or.
It was very meta for a while. He was like, "What channel tells me what's on the TV Guide channel?"
I forgot. I was like, oh,
'Cause I want to tune into that tonight.
that's why they call it Channel 19 News. It's on Channel 19.
You didn't figure that out before that?
I forgot because I hadn't watched it. Because usually I get all my news from like Twitter, and it's like, oh, Channel 19 News.
I get all my news from Twitter. Oh boy.
Because they have bits or like YouTube or whatever, and it pops up.
Well, today is the day that HBO turned into Max. So they flipped everything over. I know it is, but they were making a big show about nothing's going to change. Everything's the same. You won't even need to change the app or anything. Nope, had to get a new app. Nothing would come up on the old HBO Max app. You had to get the Max app, the whole thing. It's like these companies have one job, by the way. If you're running a cable company, there's a billion things going on. If you're running a streaming app, all of your programming funnels through one thing. I don't know why it's so hard to figure that out. Everything should be optimized for mobile now. We didn't just discover smartphones. Like, things have been on smartphones for a long time now. And that's where most people consume most of their media. So when things aren't like optimized for mobile, you're like, what the hell is going on? What are you doing over there?
I feel like you can't ever really quit anything because I quit Facebook dating and I still get, hey, you haven't been on in a while. I was like, because I quit. Like, stop sending me suggestions for like men. I'm like, what?
Well, where do you get the notifications?
It pops up in my notifications for Facebook. So
well,
I
turn off your notifications.
But no, because there's other notifications in there that I might want to see. But I did, as far as the Facebook dating, you can unsubscribe to that. I got.
You
rid
don't
of
want
it.
the temptation.
It's not even the temptation. I don't want to be on it. And it's like, hey, you haven't been on in a while. I'm like, I know. Stop reminding me.
Well, that's why they make it so unbelievably hard to delete your Facebook profile. By design. They're like, oh, you can close your profile, but that doesn't.
You're not gone.
No,
Yeah.
you're not gone.
Let you know in 6 months if we want you to leave. You'll still be there.
Yeah. Let me take a break here. If you want to go see Ice 9 Kills, you into them? They're doing August Burns Red and Veil of Maya as the support. It's going to be a good show at the Agora in August. So if you like it loud, I'll get you a couple of tickets coming back. 35192 to text.